Farmer Briggs had tilled the same patch of land for 50 years. He knew every dip, every rise, every stubborn root that refused to give way. But one spring morning, something was different. His plow hit something hard, something that wasn't a familiar rock. He grunted, wiped the sweat from his brow, and hopped down from his tractor to investigate. There, half buried in the dark, rich soil, was a stone unlike any he'd ever seen. It was perfectly smooth, almost like a giant, dark gray egg, and it hummed with a faint, almost imperceptible warmth when he touched it. It wasn't heavy, not for its size anyway. With a shrug, he loaded it onto the back of his pickup truck, thinking it might make a nice garden ornament. His faithful border collie, Buster, who usually chased after anything that moved, watched the stone with an unnerving stillness. His ears were flat against his head, and a low growl rumbled in his chest. Briggs drove back to his farmhouse, Buster whining softly in the passenger seat the entire way. He placed the stone near the porch steps and went inside for lunch, forgetting all about it. But Buster didn't forget. The dog refused to come inside. Instead, he lay down a few feet from the stone, his eyes never leaving it, like a royal guard protecting a crown jewel. Briggs called him, offered him treats, even brought out his favorite squeaky toy, but Buster wouldn't budge. As dusk settled, casting long shadows across the yard, Briggs grew concerned. Buster was still there, a silent, furry sentinel. The air grew colder, but the dog didn't seem to notice. Briggs went out with a blanket and a bowl of water. As he approached, he felt it again, that strange, gentle warmth emanating from the stone, now stronger than before. It was a comforting heat, like a hearth on a winter's night. He looked at Buster, who finally lifted his head and gave a soft woof, as if to say, "It's okay, I've got this." That night, Briggs couldn't sleep. He kept looking out the window at the small, dark shape of his dog guarding the even darker shape of the stone under the moonlight. The low hum seemed to have grown, a deep, resonant frequency that he could feel more than hear. It wasn't scary, just strange. What had he unearthed from his field? The next morning, Briggs woke up to a dazzling sight. Sunlight streamed through his window, but it was fractured into 1,000 rainbows. He rushed outside, and what he saw made him stop in his tracks. The strange stone had cracked open. It wasn't a stone at all. It was some kind of geode, but its inside wasn't lined with amethyst or quartz. It was filled with crystals that pulsed with a soft, internal light, casting dancing colors all over the yard. Buster was wagging his tail, happily licking one of the crystal fragments that had broken off. Where the fragment had been, a tiny green sprout was already pushing its way out of the earth. Farmer Briggs stared in disbelief. He looked at the cracked shell, the glowing crystals, and the new life springing from the ground. His dog had known all along, this wasn't just a rock. It was a seed. A seed from somewhere far, far away that had waited patiently in his field for the right time to wake up. And all it needed was a little warmth and a faithful guardian. Briggs smiled, patting Buster's head. It looked like this year's harvest was going to be the most interesting one yet. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing tailies.